14-7, Eagles, minute left. Johnson hits Debo for a first down.
First down, yeah.
You're thinking maybe a field goal, could get something going here. Then the ridiculous fumble that he gives it away leads to a Philly touchdown. School's out. Johnson gets the concussion in the third quarter. But, I mean, it's still a game. You're thinking, how the hell is this 14-7 after everything that's gone wrong for San Francisco? And Johnson was, okay, but you're thinking they could still hang in there. But then the ridiculous fumble, then 21-7, then he gets concussed and it's over.
Yeah, that was the ball game.
That was it. That's a terrible way to go out.
One of the worst 3 hours I've ever spent watching football. All things together, that game got an F across the board.
How about the in-play though? I mean, we'll never see that again though. No, you have a team that can't throw the ball.
Yeah, you're looking at the Eagles. I'm looking at the under throughout the game. I lost a couple of bets. When I bet under 36.5 and under 37, but everything else.
That's the lowest you went.
Yeah. But I bet everything else was a winner. And I had pregame stuff on alternate props under 38.5, under 40.5.
Wow. Yeah.
But then in play, like under 42.5, under some other stuff too. Just like the Niners cannot I don't know if this is readily available in Las Vegas, but the team total was going to do nothing for the 49ers.
Yeah.
They had no chance.
Yeah. It should have been a 21-7 final. Why are the Eagles even throwing the ball?
Why is Hurts in the game and running the ball?
And then they're snapping the ball with 20 seconds left on the play clock.
Another one.
It's like they can't throw the ball.
Yep.
So and you know what they're going to do every play. They didn't even try gadget stuff till like the fourth quarter. So it's just you can't blow this lead unless you have a pick six or a special teams boo-boo.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
You have to set the 49ers up with unbelievable field position probably 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So don't even just take the foot off the gas, end it, don't get hurt, go to the Super Bowl and be happy at that point. We get 2 1 seeds. That doesn't happen every year.
Yeah, very good. In light of what happened last year, that's right. It's a sexy matchup on paper. It's the Andy Reid Bowl. It's 16-3 against 16-3. Have you ever seen a 1 seed get this much disrespect with Philly? 16-1 now with Hurts when he starts.
I thought you were going to say with the Chiefs.
I saw a ton of Philly is how about this easy pat, which is true.
Well, you can't. That's part of the story.
Sure, but it's still they're a hell of a team. They were the best team in the league, and their O-line and D-line are fantastic.
Pauly, both things can be true. I mean, look at the quarterbacks they played down the stretch.
Yeah.
Look at the schedule they played overall in the year. It is as weak as it gets, and yet I will tell you, on paper, they are absolutely a better team than the Chiefs. Now, agree or disagree with the line movement of the game, because Mahomes is Mahomes, and I heard so many people saying this week leading into the Bengals game, they simply cannot bet against Patrick Mahomes. They're smiling today, and the guy has now made his 3rd Super Bowl in 5 years. Been a starter for 5 years.
Right.
Hosted
Ridiculous.
5 AFC title games, 3 Super Bowls. So that game opened up. The Chiefs opened up 2.5-point favorites here at Circa. That was at 7:07 p.m. Pacific time. In 14 minutes, it was moved to Eagles minus 2.5. Jeff Benson, here at Circa, said, quote, the market disagreed and said our opener was garbage. It will be interesting to see where this number goes in the next 2 weeks. He added, they only had sharps betting into the opener, $20,000 limit. The book's opinion is worth 1 bet, maybe 2. Then it shifts to price discovery and getting to the right line, both as quickly and cheaply as possible. Openers mean very little in the grand scheme of things, but it took 14 minutes here at Circa to shift that big and that much. DraftKings opened up Eagles minus 1 at 7:12 p.m. Pacific. They were at 2.5 within a half an hour before coming down to 2 where it's at right now. This note, over the past 15 years, the team receiving line movement in its favor, 11-4 ATS for the Super Bowl.
You have to see the health with all these guys. And that's why you might say, Cincinnati got robbed, but also they let one slip away in the fourth quarter. I mean, you don't have Tony, you don't have Schuster, you don't have Hardman, Gay's hurt and Snead's hurt. I mean, what's going to happen with all these guys with KC? You might say, well, the 2 weeks off, they'll be fine, but who knows? And then you got Lane Johnson banged up and maybe injuries with Philadelphia if they're ready to go. But the O-line and D-line is going to be a problem. Hurts doesn't look right, though, either. He wasn't explosive taking off, running the ball, and he missed A.J. That would have been the game. He's got A.J. Brown wide open to go up 14-0. He misses him deep.
Yep.
I think School would have been out there, too.
They took some shots deep yesterday, but it wasn't there.
Yeah, I didn't think Hurts played well. It certainly doesn't look like the same quarterback since the injury. But it's a great matchup on paper. I can't I can't kill you if you're going to say I refuse to bet against Mahomes in a big game. I mean, he's got all these guys down, and he still pulls it out, even though they got the breaks, and we'll see if the 2 weeks off helps him too. But shame on me. I was asleep at the wheel. I didn't grab the 2.5 early at Circa with the Super Bowl bet with the line. So I don't know where it settles. I have no idea what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. So this is what I did last night, because I saw what was happening. By the time I got to the number being posted on the board, I grabbed the Eagles at a pick'em, and other books were already at Eagles minus 1.5 or minus 2. So I was following the money is what I was doing. And then again here, they were 2.5 minus 115. I mean, does it get to 3 at some point? Well, we have 2 weeks. I'm going to guess it probably doesn't. But I was also thinking that I could get out of this bet no problem, and I could grab I could pay. I could maybe get an alternate plus 3.5, and hopefully we have a close game, and the Eagles would win by a field goal at that point to win both bets. But that's all I did. I mean, I think the Eagles, again, are from top to bottom, they're the best team, and they're better than the Chiefs. But that doesn't mean they're going to win. And I was just following the line moves last night and said, okay, if I can get pick them right now when they're going to go off as the favorite, I'll do that. And that's the reason why I made the bet.
Well, yeah.
But I was also salivating for the Bengals to win the game for various reasons. First of all, I was on the opposite side of you. I had Bengals at big tickets back in October to win the AFC and then win the Super Bowl. Imagine that offensive line against the Eagles front.
Yeah.
Based on what Chris Jones and the Chiefs did yesterday,
that would have been a problem.
The Eagles front would have destroyed the Bengals up front.
Well, I mean, they're second in sacks, though, too. So, I mean, KC did.
For sure.
Yeah.
But we saw Reddick yesterday was unguardable.
Right. I didn't think Burrow played well.
No, neither do I.
He made some mistakes, and he could have had 3 interceptions. One of them, the second one was just a nice play, and essentially was a punt by the DB. But that was, I see that angle too, right.
Another thing I couldn't believe that happened. It's a tie game, 7 minutes left. Bengals have a 2nd and 3. They went bombs away the next 2 plays. I couldn't believe what I was watching. They tried to hit Chase, missed him. Next play was picked off, and people are going to say, well, the result was the same as a punt. Yeah, I get that. But there's no reason to go get the first down. Get the first down, move the sticks, continue draining clock, and then go about your business at that point. I cannot believe and I love this team, and I love when they take shots, and the touchdown to Higgins was phenomenal, and Chase is as good as it gets. But just worry about the little things there, and again, have possession of the ball. Don't force it like that, and they did, and that was huge in my opinion. That could have been a game-altering drive, where they just 8 minutes off the clock. Who knows what happens if that pick doesn't get thrown, or they actually say, here's a 7-yard dump off to, Hurst for a first down. So that was a massive play.
Yeah.
And by the way, the total moved as well. It was 51. I saw it get as low as 48.5. And settling in, some spots have, 50 this morning now on the game?
Somebody put $1.2 million on the under. That's the biggest bet I've ever heard on a total. BetMGM took that. How about that? On the total, that guy's thinking, oh, God, no overtime. What's going to happen here? I thought they needed to do a better job of trying to get the ball to Chase. You take out the 35-yard bomb on 4th and 6. They held him to 40 yards.
Yep.
You got to have more than 8 targets for that guy. I know Spags does a great job, but based on how he's torched this team in the past, I think you got to get Chase more involved.
Yeah,
with what happened.
It looked like they were going to go to him a lot early on to begin the game. I'll say this: to lead that game in receiving yards, Valdez-Scantling.
Oh yeah, big ticket.
That was a massive number.
Yep, and your Mahomes 9-1's alive and well. All he needs is 200 yards in the Super Bowl now. When you look at the most passing yards for the playoffs,
who has the most right now?
It's Burrow.
Is it Burrow? Okay.
I think he's 200 yards. I did the math somewhere. He's 200 yards ahead of Mahomes.
Okay, well, if Mahomes plays the full game,
that's it.
He's got it.
Yeah, he's got it.
We talked about that on Thursday and Friday of last week. They're the favorite to win the game, right? All you needed was a San Francisco loss, and Mahomes was going to overtake Purdy for the most passing yards. That was a weird number.
It was. Hurts didn't do anything. They won. He had 120 yards, right? So both teams that get there off the bye. I wanted to see overtime, though.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.